Yeah.
Now we're live, so no swearing, ladies, or me, or anyone else who's in the background. Good afternoon. Welcome to Reseller Ladies Live. This is Friday afternoon, and it's coming to you from TP Towers, Treasure Pirate Towers. Complete without makeup, but having at least got rid of that white stripe. Stories of hair. It's not going to be all about hair, I promise. We've got a few topics today and a few questions. We've got some lovely guests. We have Andrew, of course, from Andrew and Nick Hill's fame. We have Kelly from Flipping Fantastic Finds. We have Karen from Karen Resells. We have Karin from Karin Makes and Resells Fisher. And of course, the one and only MILF, Felsterooning. Yeah. Now, that's not me.
What was that?
Funny noise.
It was me. I'm sorry. I'll mute it.
That's all right. So, things that are topical this week. We're probably not being topical at all. We're not going to discuss Brexit before we even begin.
Oh God.
I'm going to really start off with something that's a slightly different angle, which is kind of what do you buy for yourself on eBay? What do you buy that's for your personal use? We'll get on to other uses of buying off eBay later. So what's the best? What do you buy for yourself off eBay? And we will start with Andrea.
Oh. I haven't had much time to think about that one. Not a lot really. I usually use it more at Christmas if I'm buying gifts, or I buy stuff for Ellen. So if I'm looking for dance stuff, yeah, I generally source it on eBay. But I don't buy a lot for myself. I think because thrift, jumbles, boot sales, everywhere else, I don't really think about buying anything on eBay for myself. So yeah, that's
fantastic. Way to go thrifting. Okay, so Kelly.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as Andrew. I mean, you all know I'm tight anyway, so I'll wait till I see it on the car boot. Mostly. I do sometimes buy household stuff from eBay, but that tends to be new, and I just try and find the cheapest. You know, you can go online and then I look on places like Jessop's, and then I'll see if it's on eBay or Amazon and get it there, new or refurbished or something like that.
Fantastic, because I think we are quite canny. We'll search from low price, whereas a lot of people may not do that. We do it because we're tight and we're smart. So, Karen, what about you?
I used to buy all my clothing off of eBay. For some reason, I don't need to anymore now. But I do, like Kelly, I'll buy things like last year I bought the kids a new bed each. So that came from eBay. Christmas time, like Andrea, or birthdays, I'll look on eBay. Well, I'm like Kelly, I price comparison between eBay and Amazon, whichever's cheapest, the one I'm going to. So, but other than that, not a lot really. Batteries, I bulk buy batteries on eBay as well. That's about it for me personally.
That's quite a good idea. I never thought of anything like that because they're bloody expensive in Tesco. Batteries, aren't they?
Oh. Kelly, you're going.
They are bloody expensive, yes, Kelly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, batteries I buy on there. So.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. How about you, Karen? What do you buy?
Well, the biggest thing I've bought off eBay is a table and 4 chairs. But that wasn't the greatest buying experience, and I don't think I'd do that again. Do you want me to tell you why?
Please do.
So it was one that was all in pieces and you had to put it all together. And the chairs, there was loads of like chips out the chairs, and it's obviously mass produced, made out of pine. And then some of the chairs had mold on them.
Ooh.
I messaged the seller and they did send me another whole box of chairs in pieces, and I haven't actually opened that box yet. I mean, I checked it to make sure there wasn't mold on, but at the minute I have a table with no chairs in my living room. So, but other than that, I probably don't buy much personal stuff. My husband buys quite a lot of things, but I don't really. Can't think of much. I bought the odd new thing. Yeah?
You've just reminded me, we bought our kitchen on eBay.
Oh, did you?
And our dining room table and chairs and our sofa.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't think about that when I was there. But yeah, our whole kitchen came off eBay.
Oh, that's brilliant. And how about you, Shelley?
It's hard to think of specific stuff, but I'm exactly the same as Karen, of course. If we need something, and and I don't want to go to shop, and we look online. I always compare Amazon and eBay, and the girls will go on there, like Connie. I don't know if she lost her watch or something again the other day. So like they have these little, coloured Casio things. So she was on there searching for that. If they need anything, I just say go and put it in the basket, and then I come and check. So anything that we need, actually, anything random. I hadn't thought about batteries. People are saying, which of course we all do, eBay packaging. Well, packaging, we'll get off of there. Lex is trying to say she buys lots for herself, bubble wrap envelopes. So yeah, we all do that. But I think it's so natural, isn't it, to go on there or Amazon and just like Andrea did, you just like, oh, I'm not sure if I do buy anything. Oh, apart from really huge furniture that I've forgotten about, because you don't even log it, don't think about it, do you? You just go on and get it.
Yeah. So I've got a question for you all then. If you do shop on eBay, do you tend to go through, say you're looking for a toaster, like I said you're looking for a toaster, do you watch other toasters and then make your decision?
Watch other toasters?
Yeah, do you go through and think, that one
parties?
No. Oh, I do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'll go through and think, I quite like that one, but I'm dead indecisive, so I'll put that one, save that one, then I'll find another one, save that one, so I end up watching about 5 different toasters.
Do you go back and take your watches off?
No.
You're one of those people.
It's you.
Yeah.
You're the office too, Kelly.
So that's what I was going to come round to. That's where your watches might come from. People like me.
Yeah. It would explain why they're not buying, even though they're watching. And you're like, well, I'm giving you a discount now. So what are you off? But I'm wondering this is slightly sidetracked, but you've been saying that will people start thinking, like with some shops, you can leave something in the basket and then they might send you a discount code. If people start doing that to see if you offer to them.
I thought that.
I really think that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I know I've had things that I've been watching and then I've had something come through on an email telling me about this thing being reduced in price or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's going to happen, isn't it? I think people are going to do that. I'm guilty of watching things from my son. I quite often buy him things like his karate suits, some karate shoes I got him off eBay. I mean, new stuff the other week, because they're so much cheaper than going to a local sports shop and paying through the nose. But I've bought everything and anything. I bought perfume. I've bought stuff for me. I thought I want a pair of black jeans that are this make, that are this size, and we haven't got one of those shops anywhere near us. So yeah, I'll go online and find it anytime.
Yeah, and I buy to resell as well.
It's awesome. Yes,
I end up buying a lot of stuff for my mum and stepdad because they don't know how to use eBay. So whenever they're looking for something, they'll say, "Can you have a look for us?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'll have a look." And then I order it for them. So all sorts of stuff. Dodgy aftershave from the 70s for my stepdad. Was it Blue Stratos?
Oh,
yeah, he likes Blue Stratos. It's only £5 something delivered. Bless him.
That's amazing. I'm just going to say hello to a few people in the chat before we go on to sourcing, because that is interesting. We've got Scooby Shaggy, Catherine McConnell, sorry, I've mangled that, haven't I? Catherine McConnell. In all of them. We've got Mandy, she's always flipping Dawkin. We've got Lex, of course, Crispy, as he's now known, Chris B. Indie Chick, hello. Peter, Pound Girl. Now, Pound Girl, I should know her name.
Cheryl,
that's it. Cheryl, are you, Cheryl? We've got Christine David. Who else have I got here? Kirsten, hello Kirsten. Richard Payne, hello. He's doing photos apparently, so that's tricky to do whilst you're watching. Gemma Lou, I think it was Gemma Lou you were saying you chat to quite a bit. We've got Cos, who I've not met before. Steve's in, and he's put hashtag Team Steve.
Yeah, he's spamming already. You've got to watch that, Steve.
Yeah.
We've got, obviously, Nick must be watching as well. because he's not working. Woohoo! I think that's more or less everybody. If a KLC reselling. If I haven't said hello, sorry. I'm looking at it on here because it's not on here. Ugh. So, sourcing on eBay. Now, actually, that is an interesting one. Are there things that you guys look out for that you source? Andrea, is there anything you source?
I don't source on eBay. That's a quick answer. I don't.
Really?
I think Nick does, but I don't.
Okay, well, fair enough. It isn't for everybody. How about you? Sorry. Oh God, where am I going? How about you, Kelly? Because you're next on my list.
I've not tried it yet, actually, but I know some people have great success. I've seen a couple of Mel's videos where she's picked up some nice bits to resell. So yeah, it's something to bear in mind, isn't it? But no, I've not tried it yet, but I probably will.
Yeah, should be interesting. And
Yeah.
Karen, how about you? Have you ever? I know your bundles and things, perhaps, or
Not so much anymore. I used to, but not so much anymore. I get them more locally, and I've got a wholesale contact I get in contact with now directly, who I used to buy off eBay, but they ship directly to me. But jewellery, I do source offline. I buy it by the kilo. You'll find it really awfully described with really dingy pictures, but when you're paying £3 plus shipping for 5 kilos of jewellery, you're not really going to moan, are you? You're not going to lose out, even if you sell it back in kilo bundles for crafters. So I will do that.
yeah, good idea. How about you, Karen? Have you ever done that?
I must confess, I never have. I've not even looked to see. I've heard of people, sniping stuff on auctions, but I've never tried it myself. I suppose if I couldn't get out to the charity shops, I might have to give it a go. But I haven't yet.
An adventure yet to be had. How about you, Shelley?
Yeah, I've got all sorts off of there actually to resell. See, when I was going through the cross stitch phase, I got a lot of those because I was just sort of doing the, it's like mid-morning on a Tuesday. Let's see what's ending and see if I could pick up a bargain. And I made profit from virtually all of it. You kind of learn from exactly what to look for when people are putting one picture up. You kind of learn from some stuff you get, and it's a bit of a mistake. And I get my Harry Potters to make up my sets, like the missing ones, but from like the big, I don't know if I should say this or not, but like from the big booksellers, not generally people that just have got a few items on. But the standard of the books is shocking. It seems to be they just describe everything as very good, and then so it's very good. It should have its dust cover. It arrives, there'll be no dust cover. There'll be writing on the inside, maybe a library ticket thing stuck in there. It's actually incredible, and it's like, but then you get in contact and put the picture, and they just refund you. It's happened so many times, and wondering if that's just their business model. We'll just describe everything as this. If anybody contacts us, we'll just refund. So I find that quite shocking.
Yeah, that's not good when stuff arrives not as described, because we're all so careful, aren't we, not to do that.
I've got a perfect example of that actually. Last Saturday, was it not last Saturday? The Saturday before, I ordered some paint to it's special paint to strip the paint off of the radiator in my room here, and it had a branded bottle as the picture, and this is what I've received. And it took a week to come as well, even though it said 2 to 3 days. It took a week to come. It's just been handwritten on what it is. I don't even know if that's 250 mils. Now, surely that's not right.
Yeah, it's not the same picture.
It's from a UK seller, and it's got the instructions on how to use it on the listing. But as you can see, no instructions on the bottle.
That's very dodgy.
What I would say,
That's
Cara,
dodgy, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Look in the listing, because when I needed a new belt for my Hoover, my Vax, I went online and loads of them showed the picture of the official Vax one, and then inside it said not in its original packaging, so straight away it's not the actual Vax belt.
It said nothing on the description or the specifics or anything there was nothing to say that it was going to come in a blank bottle.
Yeah.
But also that stuff is probably quite dangerous, I would have thought.
Yes.
It's probably illegal and not even safe to sell it.
So I'm in two minds whether to report this to eBay. I mean, I did
I would.
send them a message saying my item hasn't arrived, and then it suddenly appeared first class signed for, even though it was supposed to be getting sent to me second class, just normal post.
Yeah, definitely report that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy May's just said it's hazardous because it should have a child safety label on it.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be selling it anyway.
Yeah.
It could be dangerous.
Yeah.
I think I will then.
That's very strange. I've never heard of anything like that before.
Me neither.
Not with chemicals.
Well, that's just so worrying, really, especially going through the post. I mean, God only knows. Yeah, I would report it because it's a safety issue for people doing the deliveries and stuff as well as for you.
Yeah.
I've actually got a question from Nick here saying, have any of you used a sniping tool for eBay buying? And yes, I have. I've used Gixxon. I used to snipe quite a lot of when I was more actively collecting vintage scarves. I would do sniping on auctions then, and I do use it when I want something that's on an auction, because I don't want to sit there watching it. I put in what I'm prepared to pay and walk away. So, and I've got a few things that I will source, but not many. I don't have the time for it these days, really. Any of you other guys go for a bit of sniping if you buy anything?
No, that's too much like hard work for me. No, I just put it in my basket, and what I tend to do is set a reminder from my phone, so 5 minutes before I'm on there, and then in the last minute I just bid on it. So, and sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I just put my maximum bid in, because it's not the only way that I source. So I can source enough locally without having to worry about whether I'm going to win this on eBay or win that on eBay, so.
Yeah, I think what prompts me to do it sometimes is I'm researching an item, let's say, and I look at solds, and obviously I'm looking at the higher end, but then sometimes out of curiosity, I look at the lower end and think, blimey, that went for that. I could have had that. That's what makes me think maybe I could do more of it. But it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get onto the richer and infinitely more varied subject of mistakes we have made as resellers. Mistakes I have loved. A catalogue of errors. Not so much just the mistake, but what you actually really learnt from it, because that's really the point of a mistake. It's a learning opportunity, as they would. Shall I pick on Andrea first?
No, don't pick on me first.
You don't want to pick on you first. Okay, I will. I've got you all lined up here. You see, like ducks in a row. So I'll go for Kelly.
Well, I made a rookie mistake just the other day, didn't I? I showed you ladies. I was trying to clear some stock, and I decided to put some items on auction for, I think it was £2.99, and one went for a maiden bid, but I didn't realise that I'd left free postage on.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a real rookie mistake, and I only realised after I got the bid on it, and it shot up saying you've got a bid, free postage. So yeah, I won't be doing that again.
I think we've all done it though, Kelly. I've done it before as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh. But you suck it up. You are so much more careful again not to do it.
It's like we always say, you learn from your mistakes, don't you? Once you've done it once, you're not going to do it again. And I've sent got my parcel labels mixed up and sent the wrong item to the wrong person, 2 different people. I don't think you're a proper reseller till you've done that, are you?
Yeah.
Got the rite of passage.
Especially when one's GSP.
Oh gosh.
No. Have you done GSP before?
Yeah, I did do it. It was a while ago, but I am super, super careful and very systematic, and I make everybody go away when I'm doing my parcels, because it's kids, cats, husbands, people, things that create these situations.
Oh, yeah.
I do tend to take on board what everyone else, when they make a mistake, or like you say, when you're buying stuff from other sellers and it comes and you think, no, you don't do it like that. I do it how I'd want to buy something. So I'm quite I'm sounding terrible, I do, but I'm quite picky.
Well, that's fair enough. I think we all set reasonably high standards, especially as we're doing it as a business. And it's annoying when something turns up in very poorly packaged, just no care, no attention, and particularly when it's it really isn't. It's a disappointment when it arrives. That's
Well, back to my first toaster I brought off eBay. I had to send that back because it arrived with just one thin layer of bubble wrap and that black siren wrap. Is it siren wrap?
Mm.
And that was it. No box. Opened it up, dented like they've been playing football with it, as you can imagine. You know it's going to be it before you even open it, don't you?
Mm.
And they was a business seller. They didn't last very long on eBay, though.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
So,
dear.
yeah.
It's stupid, isn't it? Because I probably overpackage if I'm sending something. Even the puzzles, I like really box them or cover with card if they've got to go in a polymer, because I'm thinking and I've had good feedback, like if they get a dent on the edge of their box and they get it, it's no longer, it's a sealed item as well. It's not, it's not as nice, is it?
No.
The postage thing as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yeah, miscalcs. To do that, yeah. Not bargaining on it, doing the size that it ended up once it was packaged, that sort of thing. And then I think I might have mentioned this last week, which is a rookie mistake, was getting into colour variations. So I had a return this week, which is already I've had back because they disputed the colour variation I'd put in. So yeah, that's a silly thing to do. So I won't get into that again. And just overpaying for stock, done that. So I'm quite careful now. And yeah, I'm quite happy to get my phone out as well and check something in a shop. If it's not very much, then I'll take a punt on something. But sometimes I'm like, no, just check, because you're going to be peed off with yourself and get home and go, oh God, another mistake.
Yeah, I think the overpaying for things or grabbing things that just haven't got enough margin in is probably it's a phase you have to go through in order to learn. I think it's almost inevitable, particularly I think with things like clothes, where something can look good, be expensive to buy new, but the resale value is actually not all that, and you learn pretty damn quickly, or you don't last very long in the game. It's for sure. Apparently Lex never makes any mistakes. Steve Green is pumping iron as we speak, so he's getting himself ready for the rematch.
Yeah, I mean, I've undercharged on postage a few times. It tends to, obviously not with clothing, you can't really undercharge with clothing, can you? You know it's going to be maximum small parcel unless you've got something really big. But I have before on breakables, because I forgot by the time I've actually opened and wrapped them all up in the bubble wrap box, more bubble wrap and a box, actually that's going to be about 6 kilos, not the 2 to 5 that you expected. So I've done that before. But you do, well, I'd like to say you learn, but I've done it again last week. So you do it less often. Shall I put it like that? You do it less often.
Yeah, we all get caught out by the odd thing, don't we? I think that's part of being human. We're not machines. We are very human.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Karen.
Karen, you were saying about you not donating to where you source.
Yeah.
I was somewhere earlier and I was looking at something and I think, God, that's really familiar. And then there were a few bits and I'm like, I think I dropped off here. But I was looking at something and thinking, well, why didn't I do anything with this? It looks good. I'm like, should I just put it back? It's clearly what you donated and it must have been a reason. I was so close to buying it.
I'd be the one that would go, I had that, I'm sure it sold really well. Pick it back up, go and try and resell it, and then remember, actually, no, I donated this. Hence, I don't donate to any local charity shops.
I've got one I donate to, and I might look around in there at certain things, but their prices are usually silly, and I don't go in there to buy normally, precisely for that reason. We've all done it.
Do you know Lex has mentioned something pretty critical, probably actually.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah, the offers to, what's she called it? BTW. The offers to watchers, offers to buyers. She had somebody contact her because they had accepted her offer, but then it went through at full price. And I'd been saying, oh wow, I feel like I'm getting a boost in my listings, because even though I'm sending out offers, then somebody's just coming in and paying full price. And I'm now really wondering if some of them were trying to accept the offer and it's gone through at full price and they haven't noticed, because did have somebody message me saying, and I refunded the difference. And Lex has contacted eBay and feels that it's a glitch, but it's not really being admitted to yet. But that's something to watch if people are contacting you and saying, oh, I actually accepted your offer.
Well, I had that message the other day, didn't I? Once you dissected through it, about someone not paying the full price for it. So, but I just cancelled the order and then re-put it on with the best offering on it, and then they done it that way.
Difference on mine. I just did the quickest that I could think of.
So I've sold 2 things this morning, and they were both fine. They were in pounds, and they were the offer price that I sent them, so it was okay.
The dollars thing is on the on your phone, on the app.
Oh, right.
When you offer it, it has like the amount I think in pounds, and then when the confirmation or something is in dollars. But I think it's, they're just using a dollar sign, but just incorrectly.
Right.
They've obviously got some ironing out of this to do. I mean, I know some people have the button, of which we see, and some people nobody does not have a button at all, and is fiddling around trying to do it through the old seller thing, and not having much. A couple of things get accepted, but it's only letting me literally make offers on about 2 or 3 items, and sometimes it's telling me this item is no longer eligible for the offer, in spite of it sitting there looking at me. So I think they've got a way to go with this.
You know what? Also, I've noticed today, I had a top on there that I sold 3 days ago, and it's still coming up with offers to work with. So I'm thinking, don't tell me this is double listed itself. I've gone onto it, and it goes, this item ended on XX date.
Oh.
So it's still in there, but you can't buy it, if that makes sense. So it's still in my doing it the other way, doing it the roundabout way, but.
Well, there was bound to be glitches, but it's going to be hassle, isn't it, for us?
Yeah.
I want to hear about Andrea's mistakes. waiting.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it. I think I've just made a note because I had a train of thought while you were talking. That I think that sometimes if I do like a sell similar from things, I forget to change like the size, and I've done that before, and something has sat there for ages and not sold, and I keep thinking, why hasn't that sold? And then eventually someone messages and says, is this a 14 or a 12? Because in the description it says a 14, but then in the item specifics it says a 12. So yeah, I've done that before. Another thing is that in the past I've accidentally relisted something that's already sold, and then when it sells again, you can't find it, and you think, oh no, I sold that ages ago. How did that happen? So yeah, I've done that. But one of the things I was going to talk about is learning about vintage from a mistake I made, and how vintage sizes are so different. And I sold a pair of shoes a while back, probably a couple of years ago now, and I listed them as the size in the shoes, and it sold to a lady who happened to be another reseller, and she's got a shop on eBay and on Depop, and she kicked off in a big way that I should have known that a vintage size 3 is not the same as a modern size 3, and she wanted me to pay for the return, and she wasn't going to send them back and pay for the return herself, and this, that, and the other. And I fought it with eBay because she was just being so aggressive and not very pleasant about the whole thing. So I fought it with eBay, and eventually eBay basically let her keep the shoes, but I didn't have to refund the money. So I got my money back, and she kept the shoes, which she then went on to relist. So it wasn't a very pleasant experience, but it really taught me a good lesson about how to list vintage, because now I make sure that I always put in, if it's a clothing item, I make sure that I put in, it's a vintage size, blah, 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 more like a modern, and then, really be clear to people that don't go on the vintage size because it's not exactly the same.
See, I don't even convert size.
Or you can put vintage size and then true size as well. I often do that.
See, I don't put true size because I think that leaves me open to it not them saying it's not that size.
Yeah.
So I always put in my listing. I've got one right here. I always start it off with, this is a vintage item of clothing. It is vintage clothing tends to measure smaller than modern day clothing. Please see measurements, and that is in capital letters in it, because then that covers my butt.
Yeah.
I don't tend to put size. I put say this item is sized at a 12, and then I say please check the measurements, refer to the measurements, make sure that they're suitable, sort of thing.
Right.
So because I mean I find when I'm buying for myself, my size range can go by 4 sizes, depending on where it's coming from, shop wise. Which sounds outrageous, but it's true.
It's why I put the measurement. I do put the measurements in on everything now. I didn't when I first started, but I didn't really realise that about shoes. I knew that very old shoes.
That's what Cheryl just said. She said, how do you tell the difference? And I don't really know on shoes. I just put all of the measurements in now. So I measure across the ball of the foot. I measure the length, and I put all of that in and say, please check the measurement.
That's interesting, because I've not actually had many vintage shoes. You know, it's not very anything very strange. I know people used to have smaller foot sizes, so you'll find a lot more of the small sizes than the bigger ones.
And I think vintage shoes aren't quite as wide as today's shoes.
Yeah.
And they're not really, because they tend to be quite stiff leather, don't they? The older shoes, so they haven't got much given them width wise.
Yeah. Al Zatic has just said she should have known that if that was the case, and I think she did know. She did know.
Yeah, it sounds like she knew, trying it on.
Shoes for free, basically, which is why I bought it, but it did teach me a good lesson.
Yeah, we have to live and learn from these things, and kind of move on, or either think we're going to deal with this stuff, or we're actually not going to work in that particular area and leave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I think somebody in the chat mentioned, and I know we've all done it, where you sell an item and you can't bloody well find it anywhere. It's not where it's meant to be.
I think that happens quite a lot. I mean, the air goes rather blue when I'm trying to find things sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping having a new space is gonna be a real help, because I've actually redoing my inventory system so that I can find things and being able to move around in the room a bit more easily rather than standing on things to get to things.
Yeah, it definitely helps with the bagging and labeling bags. That really helps. I haven't lost, touch wood, I haven't lost very much since I've been doing that bagging system with the numbers.
As I said, this works for me. Unless I forget to put I've done it once a few weeks ago, didn't I? I forgot to put the reference number at the end. I left it as hashtag, which is what I do at the end until I'm ready to find it at home. Luckily, it was in the second box I looked in, but could you imagine having to go through all these boxes? Because it's not like it's, I mean, I know a lot of you do your tops together and your dresses together, but I'm the numpty that would send the wrong top or the wrong dress. So I have it all mixed up. So, but yeah, if you don't put it in, there's no way of finding anything.
I'd quite like to do a big overhaul. I mean, I'm at around 1,200 listings now. And obviously when I started, I wasn't as good at labeling things, and I didn't think I'd have that many black dresses, for example. I have many. But, you know, it's just one of those things where you want to change it all, but I can't start again. I can't bear the thought of dealing with 1,200 items and trying to go through. And I did try that thing. Someone was talking about how you get an inventory list in an Excel spreadsheet off of eBay. And I did that. And apparently it was 37 pages. So I thought, I won't be printing that. It's like a tree and a half, isn't it, really? So, and a lot of ink as well. So, yeah, it's quite something.
But I do have people ask me. Sorry.
I was going to say, do you all do stock takes? Because that's not something I do. Wow.
My hand up.
I have got my hand up. I'm trying not to butt in this week.
Yes, Kenny. What would you like to say?
Go ahead.
Lex has just said that a clothing is is really on spot on the inventory, but a bric-a-brac's all over the place. And that reminded me to ask Andrea to tell Nick to please move his saw mug off the edge of that shelving, because it's halfway off.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've told him about that. I have. I've said to him, that looks very precarious.
Every time I watch the video with I see it, I think that's going to go.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening, Nick, move your saw mug.
Or it'll be in several pieces. Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
I mean, I don't tend to do a. I mean, I know, like you and Nick, don't you, Andrew? You tend to do a stock take at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
You say you're going to, but me, I tend to do it box by box. It's methodical. So I'll start with one box, say A1, then work my way along, and just do one box. It takes no time, huh?
Do you find stuff has fallen off of eBay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Out of 2 boxes, I'll easily find 3 things.
Really?
I'm hoping with the GTC that's going to stop.
Yeah, it could be worse. Might even be worse.
But I think some of it could be, you know, like if you get an item that's not paid for, so you accept an offer or something. Because if you accept a best offer, you don't have immediate payment, do you? So if you accept an offer, they don't pay immediately, or you send it on auction. I think half the time it's probably I forget to relist it if they don't pay. I wouldn't say all of it, but I'd say some of it's probably that. I wouldn't blame it all on eBay. I'd say some of it is human error.
He's moved it, by the way.
I know, I've just seen it.
Yeah, sorry.
I've got my hand up.
Oh, thanks,
And did you
Nick.
want to know my mistakes?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah, Colin, go on.
So before I started reselling, I was selling some of our stuff, and I didn't know anything about postage. So I think I didn't even check sold price. I didn't know about checking sold prices. And I had a really nice pair of cufflinks that were like a set of cards, and they fanned out, so you could have them closed or fanned out, that were Darren's. And I think I started them at 99p with £1.50 postage, and they had to go small parcel, and they went for 99p. So I was minus. So that was a lesson learned, definitely. And also, when I first started doing my covers, I used to handwrite the envelopes and just put a second-class large letter stamp on, and I used to get loads of items not received. Since I started doing my postage through Shuttle, not a problem. Maybe once it's happened. So it goes to show that people knew that if it just had a stamp on, there's no way it could be tracked or anything. So, yeah, I had loads of people saying they didn't receive it, so I had to refund them.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So that was a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
I find that with when I used to sell the beads, I used to, anything under 20, I used to send untracked, and this is before small parcels were tracked by Royal Mail. And over Christmas, or over a space of about 4 months, I had 6 go missing, which I know for a fact 2 of them never went missing, because I also got in contact with someone else who sold the same thing on Facebook. I said, yeah, those 2 done it to me as well. And so then it got to the point, anything over a tenner, then I was sending tracked. So we just paying the extra to have it tracked to them. So yeah, I think we do learn. But have any of you ever actually sniped anything? You know, like Karen undersold the cufflinks. Have you ever sniped anything like that? Or is it just me that feels guilty when I do?
I have done. Yeah. Not at stupidly low prices, but just something that was either spelt wrongly, or it was photographed badly, and it was a low price. But I see, obviously you pay postage on top, but yeah, you're getting something that's got a decent amount of profit in it.
I did go through that Fat Thumbs website, whatever it was, and found like a tapestry kit thing that had been spelt incorrectly. But when I went into the seller's other items, I realised who it was, like another YouTuber. So I just contacted her through the listing and said, "You've got this spelt wrong, so you might want to sort that out." I left her to it.
That's a kind of thing to do, yes.
Well, if I hadn't have worked out who it was, then maybe I'd have just gone, "Oh, nice one." That's fallen in my favour.
There are some people that will spell things wrong, or a brand name slightly wrong, because they're trying to dive under a genuine item. There's a lot of that goes on, so you do have to be careful. Obviously, in that case, that was a genuine mistake. Yeah.
And isn't the other one they put full stops between it rather than spaces. That's another one I've heard of that they do. Like, who was it? I'm sure it's in the Facebook, in the chat group. Someone saying about Getopoly. They'd picked it up or something and they couldn't list it anywhere. But they found all these other listings and they'd done a screenshot one. I'm sure it was on there. And there was full stops in between it. So the Vero system was not picking it up. Not that I'm suggesting anyone ever does that, because if you get caught, you're going to get taken down. So, but yeah.
Wow.
Can I just quickly go back to Lex talking about storing bric-a-brac? And I just wanted to say, because it might be helpful, that the way that I store it is because I have my boxes, I put a letter on each of my boxes, and then I just put the letter of the box on the SKU for the bric-a-brac item, and then keep it in a box. So it's still got a place. So you could try that next.
Sounds like a good idea, because bric-a-brac just takes more space. It's fragile. It's all the different things that clothes aren't. And you know, I go around collecting bits of studio pottery and glass and stuff like that, and it's all on a shelf. But you know, I know that at some point, I'm going to have trouble finding things.
I think Pound Girl said she stores hers in bread crates. I think it was Pound Girl.
Banana boxes.
Is it banana boxes or bread crates?
Banana boxes, I think.
Yeah, because they're quite solid and you can stack them on top of each other, you know, with the lids on, or fold the ends over, whatever you do.
Yeah, I think Celtic traders use banana boxes as well, because when they get auction stuff, a lot of it comes in them. So yeah, it's a good thing. I don't always get them with the lids though. Sometimes you see it, but it's only the bottom half of it. But yeah, they're still.
She stores them in banners boxes and some makes together.
Baby brain, bless her.
Yeah. So the baby brain on fat fingers. Sorry, Cheryl.
Oh, I think Sue's about to step in with some arm wrestling, which I'd pay to see. That's Sue's Pearls of Shame. She's an excellent person. Looking forward to seeing her. I'd pay to see her arm wrestle Steve and see what she says to him to make him laugh. And what on earth is Carla going to say to Steve this time? I mean, how can you top the last time? We're just itching to know, aren't we?
I think just go boo and he'll cave in.
Tickle his armpit. Oh dear. Oh, hang on. My chat's just gone somewhere. It's scooting through here. Yeah.
Andrew, don't start spamming the chat with Team Steve. We're all Team Carla.
Yeah.
You'll boot you out.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna be interesting, isn't it?
Oh no, Sue says she's not coming to Bristol.
Who's not coming?
No.
Sue, you've got to come. It's a long way for Sue, though, I know.
Yeah.
Oh no. Team Sue. # Team Sue. Yeah. Oh dear. Yes. Right. Well, that's all been very good. How are we doing for time? We've still got some minutes here. Now it might be a bit of a big question for this late in the chat, but I'm going to chance it. Is it okay to change your business goals or your business model? And how often are you comfortable with? Would you do it? What makes you change? I could start with Andrew, but she would go, no, not me. So shall I go to Kelly? We'll go to you, Kelly, first.
You can do it. You can start at the bottom and work your way up.
I could do. Would you rather I did that?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's put Karin on the spot. Is it Karin who's at the end?
She's not at the end of mine, but let's put Karin on the spot. Go on then.
I suppose I probably am going to change my business model a little bit soon, because my plan is in the next couple of months, as I was saying, was to try and be more picky when it comes to sourcing and try and just get quality items, and then try and concentrate on my sewing more again, because I've really let that go. I mean, I was selling on average maybe 2 or 3 covers a week, and that's just gone down to 1 a fortnight now, because I've not got much left on listed. So I really need to get some more covers made. I've got all the fabric, It's just a case of putting the time in and doing it. So I will kind of be changing my business model, because at the minute it's just reselling, buying clothes and reselling shoes and clothes. So yeah, it will be different.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, there's people, they're always going to need covers for their computers.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Oh, okay. How about you, Shelley?
Yeah, well, I think you definitely should be open to changing your. I mean, yeah, all right, okay, I change my goals once a week probably, but I think it is. I like it. I like the variety. I get bored by stuff so quickly, and the thing is, I learn stuff from other people, and I'm inspired by other people, and then that sets me off thinking, wow, I like change. I like changing it up, and then I think, right, I'm going to do this, and I'm like completely, having something to head for really motivates me. Oh, sorry, fucking phone's going off. That's my phone. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, because I know, like, I'm always sticking my monthly goals on Insta, and so people are like, oh God, I hate goals. I don't want to do that, but I'm guessing even if you don't like goals, we've all got some kind of plan going on. Cassandra, you don't like goals, but do you have a general plan?
Do I have a general plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, in my head. I don't like writing it down, because then I feel like I'm accountable to it. I don't know. Yeah, I do have a general plan in my head, generally. I wake up in the morning and I think, right, I need to do this, 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 and this. So I do have a sort of plan for my day. But yeah, I just don't write it down.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of, like people that like lists and you tick it. It's a bit like that for me. Oh, I've reached my goal. Lovely. I've achieved, That's, anal, I think it is. Sorry, I wasn't calling you anal, Karen. Just
All right. Literally.
We'd all been so good not using rude words.
But yeah, in general, I think, we've been reselling for 17 years now. So I think that, you have to evolve. You have to change what you do. When we first started, we were doing mainly CDs, mainly, media stuff. And you have to, obviously you can't sell CDs as much as you used to. So you've got to start thinking, well, what can I do next? And always having a plan ahead and just changing with the times and evolving. You have to.
Yeah, everybody must have been. Nobody who started, however, 5-10 years ago, anything, can be still working the same way as they used to.
No, and you're always learning. You're inspired by other people, and you find something else that works because you're always learning. And then, things change as you go.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the fun of this, is that there is nothing that says you can't change. And I've never been one for big written goals or a major plan, but I've got the freedom to go, I feel like going into this, or I feel like learning about that, and wanting to do it, and you can do it. So long as you're still achieving what you need to achieve financially, I think, you can do what you want.
I don't think you can set anything in stone, whether that's by your own standards or by eBay's, because eBay's always changing as well with what they're allowing you to do or what they're not allowing you to do. So you can't get set in your ways. You've got to adapt, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm just but I said I've just missed a call. That's it's handy knowledge, isn't it? Because my friend's messaged me. She's got to send a toilet seat back, and it weighs 3 kilos, and she wants to know the best way to send it. Very quick.
Well packaged, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm always changing my rough short-term goals. I've got long-term goals in my head as well, but they're nothing that's going to happen this month, next month. We're talking years down the line. But my short-term goals are always changing. I get bored otherwise, and then I think, oh no, if I do it like this would be better. And if I do it like this would be better. And otherwise I'd still be trying to find baby toys. and not being surrounded by clothes if I never changed. So
That wall behind you, Karen, I must say, it's incredible. It looks like a green screen.
it's not.
It's so neat. It's like as if you've put it up there for like, oh, I do eBay, by the way. Look at my.
I don't really have an eBay shop. That's what it is, right? Hands down.
It's wallpaper.
David McGregor's got a question. It's probably best for you, Karen, actually. Is, do you monitor your performance of your stores over a monthly, quarterly or yearly period? Do you know if your profit is going to go up that year, or are you even bothered?
Good question.
My profit's up 100% so far on last year. We're just over 100% on last year. I do my accounts monthly, so I know exactly at the end of each month. I always have done, because then I know, not that I would, but theoretically, I could go and burn this lot. I would have still made money from it. Does that make sense? This doesn't actually owe you anything. It's quite a liberating thing. If you know that your stock owes you nothing, you're a lot more liberal on what you'll sell it for, which gives you the freedom to be flexible like that, if you need to be. But yeah, my profit last year was, I reckon by the end of the year, we'll be 120% on last year profit-wise. And by the time the end of this tax year is, and then next year, I'm looking at being a 200% profit increase.
So
I only asked you because I know you do yours monthly, don't you? You go out
I do it as I go. I've got a receipt here from earlier that's got to go on my accounts.
Yeah,
I do it literally as I go.
So the short
answer. I'm a bit more laid back than Karen is when it comes to that sort of thing. But yeah, I know most of the items I sell, I'm in profit in. So
yeah. I'm just OCD on it.
That's a good thing though when it comes to your accounts, isn't it?
It's nice to know if you are improving. I think if by looking at a bigger picture, say over a month or 3 months, or even where you are compared to this time last year, it does give you a better picture than those days when it's amazing and those days when it's pants.
Yeah.
And I find so long as I'm seeing improvement, which I am, if in fact looking at it over a whole year is probably better, because we all know there are certain months that aren't so good for us. You know, just to give yourself an idea that all that hard work is actually paying you.
Well, I'll give you an example. January, as I've not hidden from anyone, I was very vocal about it on YouTube, Insta, anywhere I could do it. January was dire for me. Absolutely dire. The month was diabolical, but it was still better than any of my months the previous tax year.
That's a big improvement then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because this is your second year of doing it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first year you had that sort of big learning curve.
Yeah,
and
it's a bit complicated because I didn't come in doing nothing. I wasn't just reselling, because I used to sell the craft supplies, and there's about 6 months where the two were going at the same time.
Yeah.
They're all under one account because I'm a sole trader. So they're all just under one account. It's not that I didn't close a business, because I go through as a sole trader.
Yeah.
I've just read Indy's goal of the day.
Oh.
If you want to read that.
It's a complete Miranda Hart moment, isn't it?
My goal for the day, I tried to forget that I took my fleece top off in yoga and took my t-shirt off with it, leaving me stood in my bra.
You had a bar on, Indy chick.
Yeah, you had the over-the-shoulder boulder holder on.
But the same thing also happens to Thrifty Trooper, which is quite interesting.
I've never done that in yoga, I must admit, but everything's very much kind of like strapped on and nothing's going anywhere. Oh, yeah.
You've got a marriage proposal, Karen.
David McGregor.
Oh, I would, David, but I'm already a married woman. Already a married woman.
Nobody needs two.
You don't need this in your life. My wallpaper has to come with me.
Yes, love me, love my tat.
Wallpaper, it's wallpaper. I've told you on the phone. I'm just pretending.
You know, like people have that wallpaper that looks like books. You've got...
Yeah.
Now there's a good idea there. That is. Pretend you're some big time reseller.
What you do is you get that pattern printed onto a fabric, which goes in front of all your really disorganised rubbish. That's been
A roller.
yeah.
So basically, I need the whole flat. Oh dear.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Said about their business plans changing. Have we all done that?
Has everyone? Yeah, I mean,
I think everyone said.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone.
Oh.
Did you, Heather?
did I say? I might. Oh God, right. I'll keep it brief because we're up at the 2 hour thing now. The hour thing. I think I have sort of changed and evolved that I do more clothes and shoes than I used to. I do want to get back into the weird stuff, the vintage and the bric-a-brac. So that's kind of my mission, is to go back into to have that as my interesting stuff on top of just the clothes, which is bread and butter. But of course, now that I'm going to have more space, that means more place to put stuff, which could be a good thing or could be a bad thing. So it's all change, really. Yeah. And I've got to think about how I'm going to change it for the better. There we go. Well, that was a lovely chat, ladies. We have done an hour. Unless anyone's got any more questions or
What's
anything
people's plans for the rest of the day?
I've got to finish doing the auctions. I'm changing over some of my old listings onto auctions. And then I've got 16 sitting here that just need listing. They're all photoed. They just need listing.
Yeah, I've got a few bits I picked up earlier. That's it. Nothing to package. Nothing. And yesterday I went with, and it was 2 days worth, and it was 3 parcels. And then yesterday, no sales. So mood here. That's what I'm doing.
Hit the lines tonight, shall we? That'll make it better.
Yeah.
Wine makes everything
with Hannah this afternoon. We're chatting with Hannah. We're just talking about the good till cancel changes, because the listings person can't do it just yet. So we're talking to somebody from the Berlin office. And we're going to talk about people's concerns over all the changes and people's questions, etc., etc.
Oh, fantastic.
That'll be interesting, yeah.
So I don't know when that'll be up, because we have to wait for them to edit it and then give it back to us. So.
Yeah. I'm just going to do more drafting at this end. I've got a few more photos to take of yesterday's purchases and this morning's flea market finds, and then it's more drafts. I've probably got about 80 odd drafts. They're all kind of ready. 5 to 7 on it a day, every day. Yeah, so I've got to keep that going, really.
I've got some postage to do. I've got some drafts to finish later on this evening, and I've also got to hoover top to bottom because it needs doing. I know.
Yeah, I've got to do that as well. Ellen's having a film night tonight, so I need to hoover.
Yeah, not looking forward to it, but needs doing. So.
Oh, and I'm dropping Sophie off. I have no Sophie this weekend. I still have Scott, but no Johnson this weekend. She's going off camping with my sister, so I've got to go and stand and freeze myself to death at a football pitch tomorrow.
Camping in this time of year, dear God.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could go. I couldn't persuade the son, but you know, I've got rid of one child.
Hey, 50%. That's all right, isn't it?
Exactly. All right.
So it is. Shall I end the broadcast and say tutty bye, everyone in the chat? Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Heather.
Like it.
Thanks, Heather.
Tune in to us next time. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.